join me. Look at you on camera.
1%, eh?
Oh, we've 1% uploaded?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. We're doing Patreon videos. We've
are.
not done Patreon videos. We did the one in Chile. 2.
Yeah, there's the third one.
You spilled spaghetti on me. You don't have spaghetti this time.
Whatever.
So this video is dedicated to Anina Keller. In fact, I would say our next 3 videos are probably going to be dedicated to Anina Keller because we are very late on this. Francesco, you were in Panama.
I was.
What was
recently.
going on there? What were you in
I was
Panama?
just shooting a commercial.
A commercial?
Yeah, for a friend of ours, I would say. With a friend of ours, Simone. That's an Italian photographer you introduced me to. Panama was all right. It was very similar to Cuba, I would say. But much, the vibe in Cuba was much better. But I would say Panama was good.
I've not been.
Yeah.
I should go.
Yeah, you should.
Well, we didn't make any videos in Panama, sorry.
Unfortunately,
but
no.
he went, and that's why we didn't get to make these videos yet. We're now in Albania. We just spent the last week in Armenia, which was crazy hectic. We made 7 videos in 7 days, which is a record for us. The previous record was in Cuba, where I think we'd made 5 and 6.
5 and 6,
Which also felt really hectic. But we're really proud of the videos we made in Armenia. I think you're going to like them a lot. But that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is I want to lay out how these Patreon videos are going to work. They're probably going to be a lot shorter than this one in the future. This one obviously has a little preamble that we need to fill in, explanation, all that. And to get into that, what I want to say is that it's so cool that you guys in any way take part in this. I mean, the fact that you do it constantly blows our mind.
Yeah,
Every time we look at our Patreon, period, anytime we look at our comments, our views, any of that, we're just so grateful.
Yeah.
So we want to find a way to make this more for you, more fun, more interesting, more engaging. And we thought these videos would be a cool way to do it. It's kind of like Tom Scott's Park Bench, which I guess is shut now, but way more casual. So what we really want to do is tell stories from the road, because really stupid things happen to us. Stupid things that are not Rare Earth episodes.
All right.
Really, really dumb things.
Yeah.
But they're always funny. And tonight one thing happened at dinner, and we thought, well, that was absolutely so ridiculous that we might as well make our first Patreon video out of it. So Anina Keller, thank you so much. You purchased this episode. You've purchased so many episodes. We're going to dedicate this whole channel to you because of that, because you're our first. And that's really cool. So this story is about dinner tonight.
It is. It is.
Dinner tonight was interesting. We went out to a really fancy restaurant, which we normally don't get to do, but here in Albania things cost so little. Our dinner tonight was essentially a 5-star restaurant with a full meal with drinks and
wine
after
and
wine
yeah.
and etc. And it was $20 total.
$20,
Canadian, which is nothing from our perspective. So that was really nice to be able to do that. But while we were at this dinner, again, a 5-star restaurant with all sorts of stuff going on. Everybody's dressed up in their 9s, not us, of course. He was wearing sweatpants, but
whatever.
So we're sitting there, and we've made friends with our waiter. We call him Frederico at this point. His real name's Niku. And so
good guy.
Niku is serving us our meal, and this woman walks in the restaurant and just goes and sits down at a table. And she's clearly homeless. And on one hand, at the start, you're feeling really sad about seeing a homeless person. I mean, you're feeling like you're having this great dinner. You have all this money, and you're reminded of this poverty. But at the same time, the way she entered the restaurant was kind of like the way the boss enters the KFC. You know, like completely in charge of everything. Sat down at one of the main tables, busts a Coke out of her purse, and starts drinking her Coke. And the waiter goes over to kick her out of the restaurant or whatever. And Niku's kind of talking to her, and she just stonewalls him. She's just looking at him like, well, what are you going to do, right? Like, he's not going to physically restrain her and get her out of the restaurant. So she just keeps drinking her Coke.
Grabs a cigarette.
She grabs the cigarette out of her bag and just lights up the cigarette in the middle of this restaurant. And, you know, everyone else is there dressed like, you know, in their Sunday best or whatever. And there's this homeless woman in the dead center just smoking her cigarette. Couldn't care less about what's going on.
Very casual.
Very casual. I think the only word to describe it is casual. It was so casual. The casual entrance, the casual seating, the casual removal of the Coke, the casual cigarette. It was fantastic.
Oh, very good.
There's a phrase in Italian, laugh so you don't cry. And I think that was really applicable to this situation because it was sad. I mean, it was absolutely sad to see the disparity of wealth. But on the other hand, the casual nature that this woman had just upended the system. She knew they weren't going to do anything. So she just arrived, sat down, started smoking her smoke. And that was funny. And watching her do it, you know, it was like watching a lion enter a little den of sheep, you know, that nobody was going to touch her. Nobody was going to do anything about it. So after she finishes her cigarette, we realized she's probably got some mental problems, or she's on drugs, one of the two.
Yeah, one of the two.
But she started talking to someone next to her, and this is why I wanted to tell this story. The rest of it was just sort of an amusement at dinner, I guess you could say. But when we noticed that she was talking to someone who wasn't there, we started having a conversation about what she was doing, because she definitely believed that there was somebody sitting next to her, but at the same time wouldn't physically interact with that being. She was physically interacting with the waiter, with us, with everything else in the room, but not the invisible being that she imagined sitting next to her. And that sort of brought up this idea in her head of, how does the brain work under that form of I guess, insanity?
Insanity,
it's an impolite term, but it's the one we're going to use for ease. How does the brain work in that form of insanity? Because she cognizantly believes there's a person sitting next to her, but her brain at some inner part must understand it's not actually there, because she doesn't offer it the Coke, she doesn't offer it the cigarette. She knows that it's not physically with her.
She's just
but
talking.
I guess she doesn't know that, right? There's a part of her that knows it, but the part of her that's acting, even though it's reacting to that knowledge, doesn't seem to understand it. So I don't really get the hallucination concept. I don't have it myself.
Well, I guess it's very interesting to see how the brain sort of knows, but at the same time doesn't know.
It's almost like the brain is failing, but recognizing its failure and accounting for that failure, even within the failure.
Absolutely. It's like the point you made before with the computer.
Yeah, so a computer basically will break down, and it will hit the breakdown and stop there. But this brain is hitting the breakdown and not stopping. It's recognizing it's breaking down. It's taking that piece of information and then reanalyzing that piece of information,
basically,
which is really, really interesting. I don't know it. This is not, a Rare Earth episode. I'm not trying to truly analyze it, but it was a real takeaway from dinner is the brain is so complicated.
It is very complicated.
To be able to take a form of hallucination, recognize it's a hallucination, not a physical item, but still treat it like it's there. Yeah. Without processing that. She didn't know it. She's not going through this thinking process. It's all internal inside the brain. That was really interesting to see. So I guess this is sort of how we work. This is sort of how we come up with stories. We will go out to a dinner like this. We will see something like that. It will kick off this idea of, wow, how does the brain work? And then we start to research it. I haven't done it yet because we just got home 5 minutes ago, 2 minutes ago, whatever. But we probably will.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would like to know. If you know, if you are a psychologist of some kind, please let me know, because whatever I find is probably going to be imperfect, and I certainly haven't studied this. But that was a really interesting thing to see.
Very interesting.
And then afterwards she left, and Niku came by and gave us some alcohol. And so we decided, why not sit down?
Invited him to Canada.
We invited him to Canada. I hope he comes. Niku, if you're watching this, come to Canada. So we're going to make some more of these. I'm probably going to make some right now, in fact, just back to back, and we'll be releasing them over the next few days. There'll be more fun stories, I think, than the one we just did.
This was more of a...
But this was just on the mind. We thought it was interesting.
That was very
Anina, all of you from our Patreon, thank you so much. I hope that you like what we're going to come out with. We're calling it Common Ground,
Ground,
which my father came up with. I think it's a pretty funny name, given Rare Earth, We'll play on words. Very
look at you.
Very clever. And I'm going to try to have some fun with it. We will have better backdrops in the future.
That is not bad.
Presumably. The couch is all right, but
it's not the best actually.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
This is a really, really fun experience.